It is the start of season 6 here. We are at the PLW Draft up here at the castle. I got my man Brad Ogden in the booth with me. Well, good to see you, Brad. I know we've been out there on the golf course a few times together, but good to see you back here at the field at the beginning of the season here.
Yeah, excited for the year to come up. I mean, it's been a little bit of a layoff. The winter was long, and now we've got, spring weather is here. We've had a couple of tryouts, had some scrimmage games, some fast pitch games out here. Guys are getting the bug again. I know the Legends are chomping at the bit to get back out here.
Yeah, I've been the Cajun group chat's getting going. I know everybody in the league's talking more. What we're going to have here tonight is a draft, and there's some news about this upcoming season that we need to talk about. One being the Warbirds got relegated to the PCL, but too many players moving away and just not able to play anymore. The Warbirds have dissolved as a team, so there's only going to be 4 PCL teams, 10 PLW teams. Warbird players that wanted to stay in the league were eligible to be drafted by teams. You want to go over who are some of the guys that stayed and got picked up?
Yeah, so they had 4 guys that were left. Both the rookies that shined all season, Jaden Trout and Alec Holligan, they decided that they wanted to keep playing. Can't argue with that. People were excited to get Devlin Daniel, kind of a journeyman in this league, but I think he's kind of been on teams that maybe didn't fit what his skill set was, and now I think he's been picked up on a team that will pick up, will help his skill set. And then Matty Patricus, the All-American, one of the original members of this league, he also got picked, and I think everybody that got kind of got what they wanted out of these guys, and they had to use a draft pick in today's draft to get those guys, but I think they were all warranted. Alec Holligan going number 1.
Yep.
Night Owls needed a pitcher, and they got a pitcher.
And then Alec. So yeah, there was a certain draft order, and then basically what teams had to do, they could basically like in an auction, I'll use my number 1 pick and kind of went in order like a waiver wire auction type thing. So the Night Owls, who had the first and second pick, used one of those picks to grab Alec Holligan. So Alec Holligan is now a Night Owl. The Lightning had the 5th pick. They took Jaden Trout.
Yep.
So the 5th pick and first pick are gone. The Cajuns, we used we had the 13th overall pick, so the 3rd pick of the second round, we got Devlin Daniel.
Yep.
And then Matty Patricus fell low to the Snappers only because he is now living on the other side of I believe in Florida or Georgia right now.
Living in Atlanta.
And he's only going to be here maybe like a month in the summer, maybe less. So we love Matty, and somebody was going to put him on their roster so that when he's here, he can play. But he's not going to be the guy that's here every week like he was on the Warbirds.
Yeah, we were hoping that he slid to 17. Because I would have 100% pick him up because I know when he's going to be here, he would be here for basically what is the World Series of Poker. I lose 2 of my guys because they are filming the World Series of Poker as a production crew. He would have fit perfectly in that slot for us, and I mean, basically an all-star pitcher, hitter. So it would have been great, but he fell to where he fell, and good luck for them.
So I'll run down the first round of this draft. It's going to be a mixture of PLW players that or PCL players that declared for the draft. They want a shot of leaving their PCL teams to get picked up on a PLW team. They can only be drafted in the first round. And then there was some guys that tried out at our 2 tryout days looking to get picked up on teams. So the order's going to go Night Owls, Snappers, Legends, Sand Vipers, Night Owls, Sand Vipers, the Ones, Sand Vipers, Snappers, Legends. And you may have heard a lot of teams repeated in there. That's because the Cajuns, Bombers, Pharaohs, and Lightning have all either traded or used their first round, picks for waiver claims or trades in the past. So 4 teams not picking in the first round. So there's going to be some teams adding a lot of new faces.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited when we had that. We call it the Warbird Draft, and we had that 12th pick that the Legends had at our first pick in the second round, moved into the top 10. Well, now that allows me to draft a PCL player that I got to see as playing in the PCL the whole season.
Yep.
I've got guys now that I can draft in the top 10. I was really excited about that. That's kind of why I didn't use a pick at 4. I moved up to 3. I had 3 guys in the draft that I really liked. So, I mean, I was excited about what happened. We moved up, and now you've got, I think you've got at least 10 players, PCL quality players, that could get drafted. But strategy is going to play a part here because they don't go in the first 10. They go back to their teams, and those guys are happy to have them.
Right. So we are officially starting the draft. The Night Owls are on the clock. Manager Bo Evans. I already have the pick here. He's on top of it. The Night Owls. I'll get right to it, Brad. The Night Owls, number 1 overall pick in the season 6 PLW Draft. The Night Owls select Kyle Silva.
Yeah, so we got to see Kyle that wasn't able to come out to draft days, but he did come out, and we got some tape on him. And my man Trench McCone, he got to see him right at the bat. Big swing, big, light tower power, was hitting stuff up onto the balcony, left-handed hitter. Night Owls need to learn how to score runs, and he is going to help in the middle of that lineup. I think they plug and play right away, and they just figure out where he can play in the field, but plug and play and put him right in.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see him yet, but I know his brother, and that puts the snappers on the clock. His brother was in the PCL last year, so his brother told him, hey, dude, you got to get out there. This thing's a blast, and obviously convinced him to come out here, so he was able to come out to some of the weekend tournaments we've been having. And Night Owl see enough to take Kyle Silva with the first overall pick, and I believe we already have the Snappers. The Snappers are on the clock. The Snappers with the number 2 pick take Austin Topol. Austin was one of the players that tried out here at one of our 2 tryouts. Real well built guy. Looks like he doesn't miss weight room days. Showed some good things from the tryout I saw.
Yeah, so I got to see him in the tryouts. Again, he was a guy on the radar. I didn't think he would go this high, but I'm excited for him that he is. And I think he has a connection to the Snappers. I think he works.
Him and Shane Weber work together.
So they have a knowledge, and he knows what the Snappers are all about. And those guys pick as much character guys as guys that can play because they're going to fit into that mold, that snapper ball, and look for him to be playing right away.
Yeah, Snappers had attendance issues last year, so hopefully, and let me just say this first: the Legends, my co-host here, is on the clock, so I'll let him think while I kind of diddle away here. But the Snappers had some attendance issues last year, and so they definitely, I feel like they haven't had a first round draft pick since I've been in the league. So they finally get a first round pick, and it's up there.
Yeah.
So they're going to add an Austin Topol. He showed good things. Should be a guy that can help right away.
So I already have my pick in mind. I didn't know I was getting this guy, but I got to play with him in the PCL. Yeah, he's on the shelf for a little bit, had a labrum thing, but in my opinion, he could be the best player in the draft.
I agree.
I'm just making sure I get his last name right.
Would you like me to? I was going to have you announce it, but I can announce it.
I make sure I get his name right.
With the 3rd pick, the Legends take former Regulator, because Regulators were one of the teams that folded as well, Cade Watkins. Cade Watkins came to the Regulators late in the year and put on a show right away. He is a natural. He is a top flight player. He reminds me of a Kyle Letter, an Ethan Ibarra, Gavin Manziel. He is in that mold. And yes, he had some surgery on his labrum. So whether he's out for the next 6 to 12 months, maybe longer, he's going to be a legend and when he's healthy, that's going to be some pop to add to your lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I picture him in the outfield with Casey Taravella.
Yeah.
Picture him playing short when Billy's on the mound. I mean,
whatever you need.
And I plug him in at the middle of that lineup, and let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm excited to get him. I didn't think he was going to declare for the draft, and when he did, that kind of changed my theory.
Yeah.
I would have been able to get either one of the 2 guys that I had penciled in, so I'm excited to add Cade to the Legends.
Yeah, that's great. And that's going to put the Sand Vipers on the clock, and their pick is already in. The Sand Vipers with the 4th pick here in Season 6 draft are going to take Landon White. Landon White was a guy at the tryout. He to me, I wrote in my notes, he reminds me of Kenny McDowell.
Yes.
He's big, athletic. He had a cannon. He looked really excited to be out here. I believe his dad was in the stands watching him. So when I see that, I like that. That shows me he's excited. Pops is excited. That's going to be a guy that's probably going to show up every week and help the Sand Vipers out, because the Sand Vipers have lost. They've lost some pieces. Tom Gannon is back living in Massachusetts, so they're going to have to look to add some pop to their lineup, and just best player available looks like what Adam Tannick did there with that pick.
Yeah, so I had Landon rated very highly. I actually had him number 2 on my list, behind a guy who I could have drafted, but when Cade became available, I moved him down to 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the kid's moxie. He bat to ball skills. He's a college player. He'll figure this out really quickly, and I think he'll fit right in with the Sandvipers.
One of the tryout days, home runs were not getting hit, and this kid still hit one.
Yeah.
He hit one way up on that foul pole down left field line. So just a lot of natural strength, big pop, and Sandvipers just adding another 6'4", 6'5" dude walking. They look like the 1990 Raiders walking off the bus.
Well, they're going to look good getting off the bus, but can he pitch? That's what we want to know. Can he pitch?
He looked athletic, so obviously that always is a big thing. And sometimes we never know who the good pitchers are out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't figure it out. You never know.
And that's going to put, we're going to go back to the Night Owls. The Night Owls now have the 5th pick. They got it in a trade last year with the Lightning when they traded Randy Dalby to the Lightning. So this would have been a Lightning pick here, but it is now the Night Owls pick.
Yeah, so the Night Owls, again, probably going to look for as many arms as they can get. There's a couple guys in the draft that have pitching experience. The one that pops out to me, and again, I got to see him week in and week out, James Ogburn throws strikes.
Yep.
He's a pitcher. He can play some defense. He's a switch hitter. And if you give him, you let him pitch 50, 60 innings, he's going to be good enough in your lineup, and I think he moves into one of their top 4 or 5 pitchers, sight unseen with the rest of the roster.
And he could play anywhere in the infield.
Yes. But I think I know where they're going. I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah, that's gonna. It's interesting. There's a couple good athletes still down there that are available. There's a big bat. There's a couple big bats that were big. The big home run hitters in the PCL are still available in the draft. And Malik Ogburn and Miguel Ruiz is down there. My guy right here, Joey. I forget his last name off the top of the hand, but he's in the Randy Johnson. He had a good tryout. So there's definitely some studs, and we're just waiting to see who. The Night Owls are still on the clock. They got a few minutes. But, yeah, Night Owls have already gotten a lot better, man. They've adding
Holligan
and Kyle Silva. I haven't seen anything on Kyle Silva, but I heard he's electric. And they made a little late trade in getting Brandon Brundage.
Yeah, that was
at the end of last year, and he looked like to be a really
that one burns my ass a little bit because my man Nick Sansone did not tell me that he went to school with Brundage, and they know each other. I could have got him for
because he was
song.
like a late 2nd round or early 3rd round pick.
Yeah, he was picked right. Yeah, we already.
Tannick, I know you're the commissioner, but this guy is gone.
Yeah,
I apologize. And you're jumping the gun. Do we have a Night Owl pick?
They're discussing it right now.
Okay. Tannick is in the war room, talking with some of the managers that weren't able to make it here on a Monday night. Okay, and this is who I figured was kind of going to go here. So, with the 5th overall pick, the Night Owls select Malik Ogburn. Malik and Holligan are childhood buddies, grew up together. So they're going to find themselves on the same team with the Night Owls all of a sudden. The Night Owls have added 3 studs right now.
Yeah, so they've added 3 bats to their lineup. They've added a pitcher. They've added kind of the mystery guy because nobody got to see Kyle unless you were out here. But Malik is a known quantity. He's going to hit bombs. He's going to patrol left field, and he's going to play week in and week out. And because him and Alec will show up together, there's no excuse why both of them aren't here. So we're going to get Malik in here and let him talk to you guys for a little bit.
And we got Malik Ogburn here, now of the Night Owls. Malik, you played for the Lumberjacks last year in the PCL, hit a bunch of home runs, had a good season. You're a guy that's out here all the time. What made you want to go PLW?
I think I got the talent to do it.
Good. That's good, man. I think you do. I know you've been putting in a lot of work. Night Owls adding your best buddy Holligan, and now you, and then the Kyle Silva. So that's three big bats, 3 big players. You guys are going to, lots going to be thrusted upon you to get the Night Owls out of that relegation bottom 4, make a playoff run.
Yep.
Did you catch many Night Owl games last year at all, or
no?
Not many. Okay.
Not
well,
many.
They're going to need you. Hopefully, you can keep up and do what you were doing down in the PCL. I think you'll be fine up here. And I just want to wish you congratulations, man. You're in the PLW.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
You too.
That was Malik Ogburn, the 5th overall pick of the Night Owls. So yeah, man, Night Owls have added three big time pieces to the team. The Sand Vipers pick is in at number 6, and they are taking Dustin Skaggs. Dustin Skaggs.
Stags.
That's a K, my friend. So let's put a T then. Dustin Skaggs. Just so you guys know, I'm not crazy. I got a K there, so I said Skaggs. And I knew it was Dustin, not Bustin or Austin or whatever that is. We need to work on our penmanship over with the Vipers.
Well, they don't teach that in public school.
No.
You got to go to private school for that.
Yeah. So Dustin Skaggs is drafted by the Vipers. I've played against Skaggs in fast pitch tournaments in California. He's a young guy. His team, he's a wiffle ball guy. They play it religiously down there in SoCal, in the SoCal Wiffle League. He's a guy that says now that our league's moved to weekends, he wanted to make himself available for the draft and make the trip out here on weekends when he can to play, and he's going to be a Viper.
Yeah, so he was the guy I was going to take at 3 should Cade have not been available.
Okay.
I had him rated really high because I know he has a wiffle ball acumen that some of the newer players don't, and I don't need a full-time guy. I need a guy that can come in when he comes in and know that he's going to play. And according to Andrew Leday, who you play with, says he can pitch.
Yeah.
So if he can pitch, that helps. You need pitchers out here, and that's what we're always looking for.
So maybe there's not the answer I want to say, but I want to say the response to losing Gannon is getting Dustin Skaggs, who can possibly eat some innings up for the Vipers this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to be playoff eligible. I look for him to be here between, 7 is the minimum, so look for him to be here between 8 and 12 times.
Yeah.
It's a drive from SoCal. So, I mean, some of those early Saturday games might not be so good, but he can come out on a Sunday and knock some stuff out. And be
I'll
good to
say
go.
this, Brad. When I was 21 years old living in California, it didn't take much for me to get in the car and go to Vegas.
Well,
it's an easy drive, my friend.
It's an easy drive.
that drive home. It's that drive home that you question a lot of things that you did in the last 72 hours. So
let's take a look at the chat real quick and see what we got up here.
yeah, I'm seeing Cade Watkins. Hey, Cade Watkins is in there.
Hey, Cade.
AK. We got Buffington's in there. PI Nighthawk. A lot of our originals in there.
Here we go.
What do you guys think of the draft so far? Right now, the ones. AK, you're on the clock, dude.
So you better be picking something. Oh,
So-
got it. Oh, we got it. We got the pick is in.
The pick is
We
in.
need the dun-da-da-da.
Oh yeah, I know. We got to step this up, and I think a great spot would be the garage to have if we had all our broadcast stuff set up. That'd be a good spot walking up. And,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we threw this together, and this is
Oh, it's such a good pick.
the ones.
Such a good pick.
The ones pick is in, number 7 pick. The ones are taking what I'm calling the steal of the draft, and they need a guy like this on
We
their
love
team.
this guy.
This is one of my favorite guys in the whole PLW PCL. Richard Parsons of the Burros is now drafted by the ones into the PLW. Richard Parsons plays with a 145-mile-an-hour motor going on at all times. A gamer lays it on the field, in the outfield. He's going to bring some intensity, and the guy plays hard, and he's a nice guy, and just somebody I really enjoy having out here. So congratulations, Richard.
Guarantee one thing's going to happen. He's going to make a diving play in the series,
Yep.
and his hat's going to fall off.
Right.
Guaranteed going to happen every single time. We know what's going to happen. And he can pitch.
Yep.
Which is another thing that I'm kind of harping on that. You got to be able to pitch. If you can't pitch, you're going to find yourself like sitting on the bench and going, man, I wish I could play more, because if you can't pitch, you can't do anything else.
Right. So Parsons is going to go to the ones, and the ones they're going to need some guys. A guy that's going to be here. I don't think I ever saw Richard not be here on a week. So Great attendance guy, and when he's here, he gives you everything. He hit very well in the relegation tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where the ones saw him, because I believe he hit good against them in that I'm just getting a message from Kyle Lohman asking me if I want to golf. Kyle, I'm in the booth, but I'll talk to you. But yes, I do want to golf. And but the ones get a great one there. Really good pick with Richard Parsons. One of my favorite guys for sure.
Great guy to be out here. And the ones are going to need bodies. I think the ones are probably the team that need the most. I'm looking for them to probably use every pick they get and maybe even try to add a pick at the end of the draft for the guys that don't have any more roster spots. Be like, hey, we'll trade you a third round next year for your third round this year, just so they can add some of these bodies. These guys that show up every week, they're going to need that kind of attendance, especially with a Saturday, Sunday only league.
And that Sand Vipers, I just want to backtrack a little bit. That Vipers pick at 7 for Dustin Staggs. That was the Cajuns.
You mean 6?
Yeah, 6 pick. That was the Cajuns' first round pick. That was traded last year. Cajuns traded their future first round for this season and season 7 to the Vipers to get to the 7th spot last year.
Yeah.
So that was that pick. The ones, that was their true pick. This next pick at 8, the Sand Vipers, it's the Night Owls pick that they got from the Brundage trade.
Yeah.
So when the Vipers sent Brundage to the Night Owls, they got this first round. And this one, would this have been the top of the second round?
No, this would have been 10. So we moved up 2 spots. This would have been 10. This would have been your last chance to pick a PCL guy and not have him return. So you got 3 picks left. We got a handful of guys that are, that want to play PLW, but they're PCL rosters, and the rule is that we don't want to depreciate, just delete these teams completely.
Right.
So we set that rule in place. I like the rule. It lets the new guys, but it also puts some strategy. And some of these new guys are going, man, I put good stuff on tape. Well, yeah, but taking you now kind of defeats the purpose of the guys that we've seen for a year. So it's kind of like one of those things where you're kind of, we got some guys that put on some good stuff on tape, and we didn't they haven't been drafted yet. Doesn't mean they're not worthy.
And Brad, I apologize. I'm getting trade offers because my boy Lede is at a banquet for his son's basketball team. I'm in the booth and representing the Cajuns. There's moving and shaking going on in these chats. But the Vipers pick at 8 is in. And the Sam Vipers are going to take Joey Franklin, the young kid lefty that I saw at the tryout. A lot of good things I saw to him. Talked to him a little bit at the draft. I say, hey, how'd you find out about us? He goes, I was searching where to play wiffle ball in Vegas. I just moved out here. I love wiffle ball, so he came and found us through that, and he looks like he's going to be a good guy. Is he? Let's get him in here.
Let's get him in here. Let's go.
So we're going to get Joey Franklin in, the 8th overall pick, first round pick here by the Sam Vipers. Joey, what's up, man? Congratulations, dude. You're a Sam Viper. How does it feel?
Feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to make a big impact for
There
him.
you go.
Yeah.
If not knowing what maybe the roster's like on the Sam Vipers, where do you see yourself helping out the Sam Vipers this year?
Anywhere they need me.
Yeah.
Seriously, if it's pitching, batting, fielding, I want to make plays.
Right on. And where are you from?
Jersey.
Yeah. And so you just moved out here?
Mm-hmm.
Right on. So I know wiffle ball's big on the East Coast. Is that you grew up playing it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, all my friends in the backyard just
That's
swinging
what you
the
do,
stick.
huh?
It was great.
Yeah, we got a lot of East Coast guys out here, a lot of Boston guys and stuff. So I'm sure you'll get to know them, and they all talk about they grew up playing wiffle ball,
For sure.
So, well, hey man, that's Joey Franklin, dude.
Yeah.
Great guy. I really enjoyed meeting him at the draft. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. I
I'm
appreciate
excited
it.
to have you in the league.
Can't wait to play.
All right, brother. We'll see you. So that was Joey Franklin, man. Real nice kid, good kid. And yeah, he showed a lot of good things at the tryout. I think he's going to be a real good player for the Vipers.
Yeah,
And that puts the Snappers on the clock at 9.
Yeah, so the Snappers are at 9. Look at them to add somebody else. I really like Joey when he
Yeah, me
came
too.
out. Had there not been a PCL portion of the draft, I think he goes a lot higher.
I agree. He's going to be a good player. He's grown up playing it. He's not going to be a guy you're going to have to sit there and go, this is how you throw the ball. This is how you do this. He knows. And he's probably going to enjoy, I bet a lot of those East Coast guys, they play with no tape or anything on the bat. So he's probably a guy that is going to maybe even enjoy the weight of the bats being a little heavier and stuff for him to hit the ball and stuff. I think he's going to enjoy it. And the 9th pick by the Snappers is in. So the Snappers getting their second first-round pick here. The Snappers are taking Adam Kennedy, who was another guy at one of the tryouts, and another guy that works with Shane Weber. So the two guys that came, Shane had a mission. He said, you got to get to the tryout to be eligible, and I have 2 picks, and I'm taking you both. So the work relationship is intact by getting those guys both in the first round.
Oh man, I hope we get some games because these guys are all traders. Let's try and take advantage of the sports book there. Kyle, are you hearing this?
Yeah, we got some traders in the sports book in the league. They're gonna fit right in with a bunch of us. So the Snappers get Adam Kennedy. He was a guy in my notes. He kind of reminded me of a Matty Patricus with his build and it wasn't looking like he was trying to hit home runs, but the ball was coming off his bat really good. I think he's gonna be a base hit guy, on base percentage guy. If he can show some patience at the plate, and he can be a high on base percentage guy. And I don't know if Shane's their boss or not, they're gonna have the time cleared to get to work, hopefully. So that's a good pick by the Snappers.
Yeah, I think one's a baseball trader and the other one's like a football trader. So they're gonna trade off when the season gets going. But yeah, that's awesome.
Guys are asking if Adam Kennedy is the one who hit 3 home runs in the ALDS for the Angels. It is not that Adam Kennedy.
It's not that Adam Kennedy.
It is not Cal State Northridge Adam Kennedy.
No, it is not.
But
so that puts me back on the clock.
Did you make a trade?
No, I did not. I own 10. 10 is me.
Oh yeah, it is you.
10 is me.
10 is the Legends.
And
final first round pick.
I'm going with Brendan Height.
Beautiful.
So he can pitch a little bit. He can hit a little bit. He's a volunteer guy. He gets what needs to be done, and I think he fits right in at 10. I was hoping to get him at 10. I kind of had him penciled in the whole time. So that's where I was going. Kind of everybody fell to what I wanted. So it's, adding K to the draft kind of helped. I think it helped us because it lengthened the draft by 1 pick.
Right, and that's gonna conclude the first round here. There is gonna be a second round. I'm not sure if we want to take a break or not. Is the pick in? Because I thought there was it was the Night Owls, but I know the Night Owls are trying to trade it. I'm getting messages about it. So I'm wondering if we take a little mini break. Trev, so that's going to conclude the first round. We will be back right here with the second round after this short break. And that's a deep drive. Brandon Gregg! Oh! Taylor Briner! Brandon Gregg, what a catch and play!
There's 9 games total.
Damn. Okay.
And we've got a home run for the Bombers.
Oh, wow. Murph grabs that like a boss.
Where's the hole? I thought I had that the whole way.
Oh! Sansone just smoked it off Buck Burner's mouth.
Looking really good as Gio unloads on that. And we were saying that the winds are kind of, slightly going out there.
That was a ugly looking swing. The bat must have broke there from Murphy. Looks like he's going to go get a new one. Let's take another look at this.
Oh, man, that might be the furthest PLW home run at this field. Holy cow.
And then Hicks flew out.
Oh, that's a deep fly ball. That might go over. Oh! It's a fan, I think.
Really found his stroke here tonight, and he just smoked that ball. That
left side. Oh, GK with another amazing play. Wow.
Day gets under that one. That's going to be a tricky play, but Eder
what a catch.
lays out with a big play.
Hit this pitch, but...
And that's ripped by Corral. Matty Patricus, one-handed diving catch, a highlight play.
Get the save, and we're good to go.
J-Dub, mammoth shot to the container.
Do not lay one in. Jake Purdy, deep drive, right field. Purdy with the bomb to tie it up. Deep drive, Howland, backflip, gone! Home run, Tyler Howland, 7-6, Lightning, and they strike again on Tom Gannon.
Surfboard out there, waxing it up. She's ready to go, and that goes off J-Dubs.
Ripped by Dobby here! Home run to tie it up. The Lightning have tied it up, and Randy Dolby wins the match. matchup between him and Gannon. Oh,
Tie
my
game.
goodness. Tie ball game.
Oh, he hit it off Tanner.
Oh my God! TK Rabbit! He did it! Walk-off home run!
All right, PLW, welcome back. That was the conclusion. We just finished the first round of the Season 6 draft. The Legends taking Brendan Height with the final pick. We now go into the second round where anybody that played PCL last year is not available to be taken because they were not taken in the first round. So,
Well, that's the
with the exception of the regulators,
Yes.
because they are no longer a team. So you're going to see maybe not as many picks. There's not too many guys available left. And then there will be a PCL draft. I'm not sure if that's tonight or at a later day. So do you have that trade? There was a trade.
Yes.
There was a trade made during the break. And Brad Ogden, why don't you announce that for us?
The Vaders acquire the Legends' second-round pick overall, number 14, and send their second-round pick, number 18, and the second-round pick for next season to the Legends. So they're going to move up 4 spots. I pick up a second-round pick next season, and I move down 4 spots.
Okay, so Vaders go to 14, you go to 18, and you get the Vaders second-round pick next year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Vaders must have their eye on somebody at 14 that they want. So right now, the Night Owls are on the clock with the 11th pick. I know there was some wheeling and dealing going on possibly for that pick.
I think there's a lot of wheeling and dealing going on.
Yeah.
I know that there's been quite a bit of chatter about moving up. There are players that want to jump teams.
Is it in yet, Chad? 11?
So they're working on getting that. I think that, so we're going to probably have to buy the minute that they need. They get an extra minute. So they're going to buy that extra minute that they need to make this trade. I know that Bo has been pretty aggressive.
And I mean, they added 3 guys already in the first round.
Yeah.
So they're definitely probably looking to move that fourth. It would be their 4th pick. Normally, the 11th pick in the draft is a very sought after pick, but just didn't get the numbers on tryout players as we've had in the past. So it's kind of a pick. If you need depth, you're going to want that pick. But if you feel like you got all your pieces in place, it's a pick you're not going to need this year.
Well, it's a pick and it's unfortunate sometimes when you have a 12-man roster and you have great attendance. That guy gets stuck on the bench, and it's if you don't excel in your brief windows of opportunity, you don't get to be back on the field. Like, it was kind of good for the Jaden Trouts and the Alec Holligan to be on the Warbirds. They get to play every inning, and then on my team, Ryan Leonis had a good tryout, got drafted, and then he just, he had some opportunities, didn't excel, and then got pushed behind, guys that showed up every week, and that's not his fault. It just is, and we're playing to win out here. And so, hope he gets drafted in the.
And I also think too, some of these PCL guys that as on that break, I was going, wait, so and so wasn't drafted, so and so wasn't drafted. If they were allowed to be picked now they'd be coming off the board right away at these next few picks, and could be contributors. But it's the rule that's in place to keep the PCL intact somewhat.
Well, the fact that Miguel Ruiz didn't get drafted is mind blowing to me. But again, you had guys taking these guys that came out. So I was a guy that looked at PCL top 10, and then if I get non-PCL guys later, I'm better off for it because you only have that small window to draft them. And we had basically every tryout guy got drafted.
Yeah.
So that shortens their window.
Yeah, the 5 tryout guys, and then the 5 or more than 5 tryout guys. Basically with the waiver picks too, that was like an extra 3 picks. So there's a lot of guys drafted. It just was in a little bit different way than we're used to.
Yeah, and you got teams that may not even have spots left. I know I have 1 spot left because we have no spots left, but I can make a release of Jason Stevenson. J-Rock has moved to California with no intention of coming back, at least not in this season.
The future.
But I also have the option to add myself back to the roster. I had a pretty good season in PCL. But again, we'll see what falls at 18. If I have to, I can trade that pick, and I'm good with it, or just bypass the draft and let everybody move up 1.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find out what's going on with this 11th pick. I don't see Tannick in the building. Let me try to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, we got to figure this out because this is pick 11. This should be a big deal.
I thought doing the break would help.
But yeah, we've had 10 guys selected, 10 new guys. Well, not 10 new guys. We had 4 guys that won the Warbirds that stayed in the league. You've got a bunch of guys that are brand new. So all the tryout guys except for, and I know I'm going to mess up his name. I think his name is Jake, the guy that showed up on the second draft, the second tryout. He's the only one that hasn't been picked yet, and he will get drafted because he can play.
Oh, Atnip.
Yeah, yes.
Jake Atnip, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so are you ready to pick, Chad, at 12? Yeah. Okay, so there's a clock. So I'm going to go 2 more minutes. It's been a good 10 minutes. So they're definitely
I'll hit a stopwatch right here and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, I'm going to give Bo said he DM'd. Oh, there it is. No one is checking. Okay, well you're on the clock, Bo. 2 minutes. It's been a while, so yeah, that's what he said, but it doesn't tell me the pick.
Yeah.
He says no one's checking messages. Check your messages, owners.
I got nothing.
Legends have nothing. I'm representing the Cajuns. I have nothing.
Posting pics here. I'm looking at everything.
Chad has nothing as from the Lightning. I see Sasai wandering aimlessly. He's got nothing.
Sasai's got 14th pick. He's excited.
Sasai's got nothing for the 11th, though. I need the 11th. 1 more minute. Okay, my message bubble is going on Bo. Let's see what comes in. I golfed with Bo and Lohman the other day. Heard their draft strategy, and I think I know they're happy with their picks.
I can't imagine why. They got some good players there.
He was trying to sell his pick to a team.
I don't know if anybody's going to buy with a minute. You might just lose out. It's only a minute left. Maybe that's what he was trying to do. Hit the.
Yeah, he was. I'll say this: he was waiting on a response from Lede, but Lede is at a banquet for his son. So I told him just tell him what he asked me, and I declined the offer. So he's gonna have to make a pick or pass, and I'm gonna give him a little window since he was trying to message Lede. Another 30 seconds. I'm seeing if something comes in. The drama of the draft, Brad.
Well, I mean, it gets to this point.
It gets
to this point, you're like, okay, I want to. He might not even have a roster spot.
I mean, they drafted 3 dudes. I know.
And they picked up Holligan. They drafted 3 guys in the first round. And
I was counting Holligan as the 3. So the 3, and then, because they got Holligan, Silva, and Malik.
Yeah.
And then I know a couple of their guys, Casey Nielsen's not able to play anymore.
No
Manchester. So those will probably be roster spots.
Yep.
Okay, I think the pick has been sold to the ones.
So let's see.
So maybe Adam.
Okay, AK, you're on the clock. Let's get it going, bud.
Maybe AK can give me his pick.
Yeah, let's get that done. And that makes sense because the ones need players. I would be surprised if they don't gobble up a handful of picks here and start adding guys to the roster, especially guys with good attendance, because that's what they want.
Yeah, definitely, and they're a team that's going to get hurt.
Okay, so we know who they're. I mean, I'm over his shoulder.
Pick. Yeah,
I think it's a great pick. I think it's a great pick. It's a guy who's going to show up every week, and they're going to plug and play. Once they confirm that, I think it's a great pick for them. It's a guy who's going to show up every week, and for a team that needs attendance and needs guys that are going to show, you can guarantee he's going to be here 90% of the time.
Yeah, he'll be here every week. His son is Malik. Him and Malik are always out, even today. The draft's going. They were the first 2 here doing BP. They're always working, playing. I think that if that's the route they go, I think that's a good route. He's a guy that they can count on. He can be here, competes, competitor. And I've just got word from the Ones with the 11th pick. The Ones take James Ogburn of the Regulators. So James Ogburn is a 1 now, and James was our number 1 pitcher for us on the Regulators. We put him in every time. I had to save his innings for the most intense situations of a 3-game series.
Yeah.
He was going to start a game. I was always hoping he could go 5 or 6, and then those remaining 3 or 4 innings were him getting us out of jams, and he got us out of jams more times than I can count.
Well, you look at when you go to PCL stats and you look at his record. Don't look at his record.
Right.
We were god awful at portions of the season, but he pitched probably the most innings.
Yes.
He didn't walk out a whole lot.
No.
Put the ball in play. He can field his position. He can play short, third, or second.
Yep.
Hits from both sides of the plate, so that gives AK and another guy that can switch hit. And I think he'll benefit because more pitchers throw more strikes in the PLW. He won't have to try.
Yeah,
to do stuff.
that was his one thing is he would chase a little bit, getting frustrated, not getting stuff to hit.
Yeah,
So.
and so definitely swinging. And I think he'll benefit because the PLW will throw more strikes, and he's good contact in the zone. But when he chased, he got beat a little bit.
Yep. So, but a good pick. I think that's a solid pick by the Ones. And the 12th pick is in by the Lightning. The Lightning with the number 12th pick are going to take Jake Atnip.
Yep.
Jake Atnip that was I wasn't able to make the second day of tryout. I believe you were here.
Yes, I was here.
Give me a little something on Jake.
So played college ball, tore his rotator cuff, kind of didn't. So the dream died.
Uh-huh.
He works in town. He's kind of a DJ. Works with
Michael Dean?
No, he works with my man Ethan Wigfield.
Oh.
He does some of the same shows. They promote the same shows. So weekends, he has a schedule. He'll be able to be here when he can't be here, but he can play all the positions. He has a good arm motion, good bat to ball skills. Again, the wind was blowing in ridiculous on Sunday, and he was still putting a charge into some. So quality pick there. Lightning are going to like it, and I think it's going to be great. James Ogburn just made it up. Let's get him on,
All right,
on the
let's
horn
talk
here.
to James. My guy.
What's happening, man?
What's up, James? Congratulations, you're a 1.
Oh, the Ones, huh?
You're on the Ones, man.
Okay.
They were messaging me, asking about you. I was talking nothing but good things about you, and I think, how's it feel? You're in the PLW, man.
Yeah, hey, I'll be able to contribute. You know what I mean?
I know you will. I know you will. So yeah, the Ones. That's a team that with the schedule going to weekends. Some guys that are not going to be able to play, so there's definitely room. There's room to get in the lineup right away and contribute. So I think that's a great spot for you because you're a guy that can play any of the infield spots and pitch. So I think you're going to be a great addition to the Ones.
Yeah, I'll get a strikeout or two.
And I know you'll strike out Malik every time you face the Night Owls and face Baby Boy, he's going down. So we know that. We know that for right off the top.
Yeah. So
He can't even deny it down there. He's just laughing. He knows.
yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. I'm glad
that's
you're out
all.
here. You're a guy that's out here all the time working, getting better. So we're happy to have you in the PLW, James. Congratulations, bud.
All right, thank you.
All right, man.
Have a good one.
And that puts the Cajuns, your Season 5 PLW champion Cajuns, are on the clock for the first time in this draft. And I have the pick. I'm going to wait for Brad to get in here.
Hold on, let me get in. Let me get seated. This is because I want to get strapped in. Let's go.
I want you to hear that again. Season 5 champ Cajuns are on the clock for the first time. We're going to make a pick here. The Cajuns are taking Chris Gearing of the Regulators. So
That's a good clubhouse guy. I like that for sure.
We're taking Chris Gearing. He's going to be a Cajun now. He was on our Regulators.
Yep.
He was a guy we got in a trade with the Pharaohs.
Yeah.
I bought him from the Pharaohs when I was running the Regulators. Right away, was a great in the dugout, rooted everybody on, and has some very, very sneaky pop.
Yeah.
There are times he runs into some balls where you're like, what the hell just was that? He hits some rockets. He's just a guy that I know he just cares a lot about it and wants to do well, and he gets in his head. If he can stay calm and relax, he will do just fine out here in this league.
The Cajuns have added Kyle Baker, who basically, in my opinion, helped you guys get through a lull when your offense was struggling. He was on base 70% of the time at the bottom of the order in front of Leday. Now you've added another regulator who, again, clubhouse guy, give 100% effort, and he's on the right type of team, he doesn't have to play.
Yeah.
He can show up, and he can get good at bats. He can play in the field. He can contribute. And then when you guys get something going, get something rolling, you've got positive guys. You've got the Roosh. You got the Sashi Boba. You got yourself, Lede, Kyle Baker. All these guys are going to pump him up. He will, I believe he will explode, and you will see all the talent that he has.
We pride ourselves on the culture and how we treat our teammates and everybody around, and we try to make it the best possible environment for each guy, and we feed off, like, our team enjoyed Giordano having the breakout. Like, we loved it. Like, that made us so happy. And then Baker carried us for a month. And then when we got Logan was having a tough time with the Night Owls. Logan comes on and goes, like, we fed off all of that. We love, like, hey, dude, like, there's no, if you get out 4 times, we're not going to yell at you. We don't hate you. We don't nothing. You're fine. We believe in you. And I think Gearing's going to be a good addition to our clubhouse.
Yeah, it's about the journey, and he's going to help with the journey for sure.
Yeah, and we're going to work with them. So I believe that puts the Vedas
we
at
have
14 on the clock.
Can I get on the mic?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get him in here. He wants to be on the mic.
Let's get this guy in here. Death Row is the label that pays me.
Cody's been salty ever since the Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers. He's been giving me the cold shoulder ever since.
It's a new season. Don't
I
even
know,
come at me
but
like that.
I've been having the cold shoulder ever since. So we gambled, trying to take the 14th pick, and then I wanted to trade down to the 11th or the 10th round pick to take a guy that I wanted. Unfortunately, they weren't there. So if this is going to be an indication of how our season is going to go, I don't want to come out because we're already taking L's for the season.
Not a great start to the Vader season.
So we are. I'm checking. I have 2 minutes. I just
this guy. Okay, let me tell you something, chat. This guy lives and breathes PLW wiffle ball.
I do.
Okay,
since 2021,
and he is
baby.
thinking the season is on the rocks because his draft didn't go right in the second round.
We got rocked already.
There's not many with more passion than Sasai in this league. Your team is still talented. You'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll be all right for the most part. But unfortunately, I took an L, so I'm going to opt out of the draft here and not make a pick, unfortunately.
So the Vaders are done with the season 6 draft.
That's it. And if anybody did want to know, I really wanted Ruiz. I love that guy. He's such a cool guy. I was
know.
shocked.
I'm stunned. That's a stunner for me that he didn't go.
I was in talks with
and Leonard.
Yeah, I was in talks with the Snappers for the 9th pick. And they ended up taking their guy at 9. They really wanted. Briner thought he was going to go earlier, and when he didn't, he was like, "Sorry, man, I can't risk him going."
Shane brought him out.
Yeah, exactly. So
you were working.
Yeah, I was working. I was working the phones all day yesterday and today, but unfortunately, taking L. So we're gonna opt out.
Miguel's gonna win MVP in the PCL.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Miguel's gonna win.
He's a beast.
Miguel should be in the. Wow, that's where that rule. It helps the 86ers, but hurts a Vaders team that was trying to get him.
Exactly. But anyways, I'm excited to start the season. We face the Vipers week 1. We're gonna whoop them. So can't wait.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Let's go. Absolutely. All right, buddy. Thanks, Sasai. God, I love that guy. He says I give him the cold shoulder, but he's kind of right, but not all the way right. He was giving me the business when the Diamondbacks put a whooping on my Dodgers.
Yeah.
But see, I still wear my Dodger hat. You see him in any Diamondback gear?
Oh, dude.
Because they lost in the World Series.
He would be wearing Suns gear right now. This guy is Phoenix.
I remember when they got
day.
Durant. He told me, we're winning it and this and that. He loves his Phoenix teams.
I get it.
Okay, so with that eulogy from the Vaders, they've passed on the 14th pick.
Eulogy.
Yeah. That was hard. That was a hard watch.
Well, it was funny is he traded up. So
yeah, he traded up. He took a gamble. Okay, so 14 is gone, and then that brings us. I'm trying to pull it back up here to the 15th pick.
that one I can actually pull up. I can pull that one up. For some reason, I cannot pull up. Oh, can't do that one. I can't do players because I don't have Google. But I can pull up the draft order because it's in an attachment. So let's see. So that means the ones are on the clock again. If I had that right.
Yep, and I'm talking to one's manager.
Oh wow. That's a good call right there. Again, another guy who's going to be. I hope it happens.
Yeah, I mean he's messaged me.
he's just saying, hey, give me all the juice. Give me everybody.
Yeah, it's like, dude, hey, Couts, we golf together. We're buddies. You could have messaged me a couple days ago.
Yeah, right. I mean, nothing like planning ahead, AK. Come on.
Draft day hit me up.
Draft day hit me up. You've got, and I don't have the list of available players left, but you got quite a few guys that are still available.
Yeah, it's basically regulators. All the tryout guys are drafted.
Yep.
There's some regulators left. I think a couple of them might end up in the PCL.
So there's one guy that played on the Tomahawk. So he's an original. Jamie Che. He plays outfield. He's a left-handed hitter, and he only wants to play PLW because I think he just didn't enjoy his PCL experience.
Oh, okay.
He's another guy that can play, and he can play weekends. He pitched a little bit for the Tomahawks, but he's an original. He was one of the guys, like first set of playoffs, he played for a team called the Heat, hit a 3-run homer to win a series for that team. Him and Jason Stevenson were basically the whole team. Yeah, he's on the draft list. He doesn't want to play PCL. He's on the Diablos. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, maybe not. I guess not.
So Che's not available?
I guess not. I thought he was on the list that was able to be drafted. He wasn't in
I did too.
He wasn't hollowed out.
The ones will take him if he's available. The ones will take him if he's available. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, the ones will take him.
Let me make sure. So sorry, folks. I'm you don't put that pressure on me, Couts. I'm trusting you.
Yeah, because
I'm making the pick for the ones. Oh God. All righty. Well, I just don't. You think Che wants to play?
It says in the book that Che only wants to play PLW. He doesn't want to play PCL, and I don't know. I don't understand it. But I went off what the list said, so I don't have the list anymore, because there was a couple guys on there that weren't hollowed out, that didn't have the little star by them. So I mean, but you got guys that I would have drafted, but I can't.
Right. Okay, and the ones pick is in. The ones are taking Jamie Che, who played with the Pharaohs and the Diablos down in the PCL. He was available. He was a free agent. He is drafted to the ones. So Jamie Che to the ones there at 15.
Yep. Jamie Che to the ones.
All right. So after my discussion with Couts, they got that pick in. I was under the gun there. It's hard enough representing the Cajuns, much less helping Couts with the ones.
Right.
So that puts the Night Owls on the clock at 16, followed by the Lightning, Legends, Bombers, Vipers, if they have any picks. I could see this now going down to the Couts is messaging me. I keep glad I could help you out, bud. That was you were live look into the ones draft room with AK and Cody Runnels there at the.
Yeah, and I don't have the players list because I mean that list again. I don't know when the last time it was updated, but you have guys that are on that list that didn't have the little star that says can only be drafted in the top 10, and if they're still on a roster, so like one of the guys I'm looking at wasn't on that list, I would take him at 18. But if he's on a team, I can't take him. And I don't want it, and I'm not trying to deplete the PCL at all.
It's just knowing there's the list if you want to look at it.
Yeah, so the list is these guys have the little stars by them, right?
Yeah. Can't take those.
Can't take those guys. Well, I want to take that guy right there, number 29.
Okay. Yeah, so if teams aren't picking, it's going to get passed down to you, and then you'll be able to. So,
but that's just it. If he's on a team, I don't want to deplete.
No, I believe he is
not.
He's not. He's not marked here.
Okay, yeah. So that's where we're going off of guys. Like we have a list here, and you've got guys like Dave Cabrera's on the list, And you've got DCR and Aaron Harris, Raul Salazar, another guy who was drafted, played for the Lightning for like a week, and then got replaced. Guy can play. He had a eye. Scott Burley. He's out there. You got plenty of guys.
And Burley said he'll come down for the weekends, I believe. So
well, he wants a schedule. He can get down here, and because it's weekends, he works Monday through Thursday. He can be here more often than not. So
nice.
Another solid guy. But the guys that I like, 29 and 30.
Yep.
So, but these guys are on. I'm not drafting myself. I have not activated myself. I have one roster spot left. I'm going to stay PCL because that's probably more my speed I'll be 53 at the end of the week.
So the Night Owls are on the clock. I'm going to have to run because this is getting where it's either who you're taking or you're not.
Well, I don't think they have a roster spot.
I don't either.
And I'm going to check the DMs right now, just make sure that there's.
Asking that manager, Chad, dude, the Night Owls have a pick at 16. Oh, man, what a sky tonight. It's all purple and orange. It's nice. I don't see tan. I don't know where everybody's at.
Well, I think they all retreated to the bar. So you and I are stuck
I don't even see.
There's not a lot of light going on in there.
I don't know what's going on.
And Tanek's wearing shorts. It's like 50 degrees outside.
Freezing.
It's like...
Night Owls have opted out of the draft. So Night Owls are done at 16. That puts the Lightning at 17.
Chad opted out.
Chad's done?
He's done.
So 17, that puts you on the clock. Legends.
Jason Buffington.
Jason Buffington is a legend. He is a legend in real life, and now he's one in PLW.
Yep.
Jason Buffington has been drafted 18th by the Legends.
And that concludes our draft. I have no more roster spots, none at all. By releasing Jason Stevenson, J-Rock, one of the originals, we had an open roster spot. I was saving it either for myself or Buff, and since Buff said he wanted to play, we got him.
Boom. Buffington's a legend. Bauer, I believe, is representing the Bombers at 19. Give me a knock if you're drafting, Bauer. He's not. Okay, Bombers are drafting.
Bombers are drafting.
And then the Sand Vipers will be after that, and that would end the second round. Here comes Tanek sprinting in. Now he has sweats on.
Don't
trip on that.
Now he's telling me I can't have Buffington.
I believe Buffington was released.
Oh, I like it. So we got...
This is the Bomber pick?
This is the Bomber pick. I like it.
So the Bombers have released Justin Grenier from their roster, a very talented player, but just a guy that can't make weekends, and are drafting Raul Salazar.
Yeah, so great pick there. Raul is going to be...
So you were just talking about.
So he played on... So when we were at the ranch, we had the minor league team, the Barons. He played on the Barons with me, where we had a really stacked team. It was a JT Church that turned out to be okay. Raul plays PLW level third base.
Wow.
That is not a question. And then he got hurt. He used to work for me, got a glass shard in his eye the week after the draft. So he couldn't see. Chad drafted him on what he did in the draft, but then he needed a pitcher. He picked up Dennis and said, hey, our Dave Stewart and Seifert, and cut Raul. And Raul was like, okay, let me get my eye heal, came back out. He's the one that made the diving play and pulled his hamstring while he was laying out over here to make the throw the third.
He sounds like he should be a legend.
He should be. He's going to be hurt, but he's way too young. But no, I think that's a great pick.
That's a good pick by the Bombers. So that puts the Vipers on the clock for the final pick in the second round.
No, we're getting the word here.
Vipers are done. So I believe that concludes.
Back to the ones.
Ones are going to take somebody because the Lightning are done. Do you guys have a roster spot? Because you picked
Cajuns are done.
Cajuns are done. So the ones are the only ones left with The ones want Dave Cabrera.
The ones are drafting Dave Cabrera with their third pick, and that will conclude the PLW draft. Are we doing PCL tonight?
Yep, we'll run through PCL.
Okay.
Perfect.
1 and 2 to PCL already.
Okay.
So with Dave Cabrera going to the ones, that concludes the Season 6 PLW draft. Let me collect my bearings here.
Yes.
And a lot of crap was happening. We're going to give me that little 2.5 minute break, and then we will do the PCL draft, which is already in the works and going, so it'll just be us announcing it. We'll be right back after this break. That's a deep drive. Brandon Gregg! Oh! Taylor Briner! Brandon Gregg, what a catch and play!
There's 9 games total.
Damn. Okay.
And we've got a home run for the Bombers.
Oh, wow. Murph grabs that like a boss.
Where's the hole? I thought I had that the whole way.
Oh! Sansone just smoked it off Buck Burner's mouth.
Looking really good as Gio unloads on that. And we were saying that the winds are kind of, slightly going out there.
That was a ugly looking swing. The bat must have broke there from Murphy. Looks like he's gonna go get a new one. Let's take another look at this.
Oh, man, that might be the furthest PLW home run at this field. Holy cow.
And Hicks flew out.
Oh, that's a deep fly ball. That might go over. Oh! It's a fan, I think.
Really found his stroke here tonight, and he just smoked that ball. That
left side. Oh, GK with another amazing play. Wow.
Day gets under that one. That's going to be a tricky play, but Eder
What a
lays
catch.
out with a big play.
Hit this pitch, but
and that's ripped by Corral. Manny Patricus, one-handed diving catch, a highlight play.
get the save, and we're good to go.
J-Dub, mammoth shot to the container.
Do not lay one in. And Jake Purdy, deep drive, right field. Purdy with the bomb to tie it up. Deep drive, Howland, bat flip, gone! Home run, Tyler Howland, 7-6, Lightning, and they strike again on Tom Gannon.
Surfboard out there, waxing it up. She's ready to go, and that goes off J-Dubs.
Ripped by Dolby. Home run to tie it up. The Lightning have tied it up, and Randy Dolby wins the matchup between him and Gannon. Oh,
Tie
my
game.
goodness, tie ball game.
Oh, he hit it off Tanner.
Oh my God! TK Rabbit! He did it! Walk-off home run!
All right, guys, we
I
are
won't play
back.
with Leonis.
It is the PCL draft now. The PLW draft ended. We went 2 rounds. A couple teams passed on their second round pick, but a lot of guys drafted. I would say, just real quick, winner of the draft to me is the Night Owls. I think the Night Owls got a lot better in the draft with the guys they've added between the getting Holligan in the like free agent pickup and then the picks they took. So
Yeah.
Winners of the draft to me are the Night Owls for sure.
Yeah, so they added some bats for sure. They added an arm in Holligan. They desperately need pitching. Bo's kind of the second pitcher. Manchester doesn't play weekends, so they lost that arm. But yeah, I think they won the draft. They added plenty of bats. Now, can they translate into wiffle ball? But I think they can eventually.
And one last thing that I need for those that were watching PLW PCL all year, you probably remember a Gavin Manziel who was on the Pharaohs. Gavin Manziel, when the Pharaohs won their way into PLW, Gavin Manziel was traded to the Cajuns.
Yep.
We traded Logan Christie to the Pharaohs so he could be on his team and manage his team. So that was a Logan for Manziel. So Manziel is somebody that wasn't drafted here today, but is a rookie and will be up for Rookie of the Year along with all these other guys being drafted.
Well, I'm going to trip him when he rounds third base a couple of times and see if I can get him to stumble and fall.
There ain't a chance in hell you could catch that little.
I don't have to. I got to catch him once.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, he's going to be electric. You guys, I mean, again, they won the draft. They traded away a lot. They had a lot of moving pieces from the last 2 years.
Yeah.
If you don't have a program, you can't keep track of who the Night Owls have and who they don't have anymore because the team is completely different.
It's going to be a rebuilt thing, but I think rebuilt for the better.
Yeah.
So that takes us into the PCL draft. Now, with the PCL players that were drafted, Richard Parsons, Brendan Height, and who was the third one? Malik Ogburn being drafted. The Lumberjacks got they got rewarded with 2 picks before the PCL draft, and the Burros got awarded a pick by losing Parsons. So the Lumberjacks, with the first compensation pick, the Lumberjacks take Dennis O'Brien who was formerly of the Lightning. Dennis O'Brien is going to be a Lumberjack playing for his old teammates Bruce and Tim Riley.
He's going to be an all-star in the PCL. He's probably one of the better defenders, PLW-wise.
Yes.
He's going to get the at-bats he needs. The biggest benefit of PCL is getting those guys the 200 at-bats that they're not getting at the upper division. He's got a discerned eye, and he can pitch a little bit. So
Dennis O'Brien can really pitch. If we rewind back to 2 seasons ago, he was on the Lightning. We ran out of pitching when I was still on the Lightning. We had a game where we had to he had to come in and pitch. It was his first time ever pitching, and he threw some nasty screwballs to Jim Dodos and froze Jim Dodos. The pitch barely missed at the end of the corner of the thing that would have struck him out and got us out of the game and won. He just never got the opportunities. That he is gonna be a pitcher down in the PCL and dominate.
Yeah,
I believe.
I think he's gonna be an all-star for sure.
Yep. And then the Burros, they're taking Pete Mavro with their compensation pick. Another guy that pitched, played outfield, good batter for the Regulators, was a guy that was right in the middle of the clubhouse, heart and soul, part of the fabric of the Regulators, and was a key contributor, and he's going to help the Burros.
Yeah, so he's got a championship, PLW championship. He was on the Snappers when they won season 1. So
correct. He
was the original owner of the Snappers. He can definitely throw strikes. He's a pitcher. He's not going to overpower anybody, but he thinks how to pitch. He can play the outfield, and again, he's got PLW experience, so he knows the difference between a ball and a strike.
Yep.
He doesn't swing at a lot of balls, and he puts himself in position to be successful all the time.
Awesome. And then the Lumberjacks with the 3rd pick, their second comp pick, they didn't have anybody that they were taking at that time, so they were awarded a free agentship. So they will add somebody maybe during the season that they find, and I know they have a couple young dudes on their team that probably got some buddies that'll want to come out and play later on.
Yeah, tryouts. The weather was just god awful.
Yeah.
For both tryouts, so the tryout attendance was way down. Now they have an opportunity to bring in somebody that they know.
Yep.
And that can fit right in with their team. Look for them to do that right away.
Yep.
They probably already have a guy in mind, which is why they did that.
Right. So now we are into the first round of the PCL draft, and the Diablos on the clock have already made their pick. They are taking Chris Gershwinder.
Yeah, so Chris, he's an original Stoneman. Him and Trevor Bauer, the owner of the Diablos, they go way back. They play college ball. Gershwinder is a real good coach, left-handed pitcher, big bat. He coaches a lot his son, but weekends are more open for him. Look to see him when his kids play in the afternoon, look for him to be here in the morning, and when his kid plays in the morning, look for him to be here in the afternoon.
Right on. So Gershwinder, I've heard the name a lot. Never actually met him or seen him, so hopefully we get to see him in some action this year. I'd like to see.
So would I. I have one of my career home runs is off Chris Gershwinder.
Ooh, okay. There we go. And then that puts us 86ers are on the clock. And I got Jameson Steed.
86ers are humbled and pleased to announce.
86ers. The 86ers are humbled and pleased to draft the first ever draft pick of the Regulators, Brad Ogden. You're an 86er.
All right. Well, so my back of my PLW card is going to have like more lines than I know what to do with. But I'm happy to play for Jameson, and it's a family affair.
Yep.
Look for the 86ers. I thought they were a playoff team that had a chance to push the envelope and get into the PLW. They have that opportunity again. Leonard Quinville on the mound. Miguel's going to lead the league in home runs.
Yep.
And mark it down. That's going to happen. All the Steed guys can play.
Yep.
I'm excited to be on that team. I don't have to do a whole lot. I got to show up on Saturday and plug and play wherever the coach says me to go, and I'm going to hit. So I'm good for that.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
You want to get Jameson in here?
Yeah, let's get Jameson in here. So Ogden going to this, and that puts the Lumberjacks back on the clock. Jameson.
Hey.
Congrats, man. You got my guy Brad.
I know. I was kind of quietly hoping he was going to fall to me, and really thrilled to have him. I think, last season we were probably one or two more consistent bats away from winning that Challengers tournament, going up to challenge those PLW teams. So I think Brad's going to get us over that hump. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I agree, Brad. You're gonna get a 330 or more hitter, some bombs here and there, and going to be a great clubhouse guy. Be able to teach some of the guys the game and just show how it's kind of done and give some tips. He's like I leaned on him a lot coaching the regulators. Whenever there was a couple times I couldn't be there, he was able to help me out, and he never worried about him running it or anything. Obviously, he runs the Legends, but he's just a guy. He turned into one of my best friends and a guy that you're going to really enjoy having on your team.
Yeah, we're super excited. I mean, he is a bit of a prima donna. Like his seat has to be a certain temperature.
Right.
The beverage.
Well,
has to be,
aside from those little quirks, he's a great guy.
Yeah, much more advantages than disadvantages with Brad Ogden for sure.
Right. Well, hey, man, I look for the 86ers. You guys should be a force down there and make a run in that relegation tournament.
Yeah, we're excited. Thank you.
Awesome. All right,
Appreciate
Jameson, one of the great ones out here, man. Just a great guy, always involved, helping out. Damn good player himself, and just runs that 86ers the right way. Gets everybody a lot of at bats and takes care of guys, and that's gonna be a fun team to play on.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. Leonard's a great guy to play around. Playing with Jameson. Jameson has some PLW experience. I think we're a threat. I think we're a threat right off the bat.
You have a good mix of veterans and some young guys with some talent and some pop. So you guys are gonna have a nice little group and really find your stride getting ready for that relegation tournament at the end. You should have no problem being in that. So that puts Lumberjacks. Do we have a Lumberjack pick?
Yes, the Lumberjacks are choosing Leonis.
The Lumberjacks are drafting Ryan Leonis, former legend. Now, man, Lumberjacks are adding some PLW experience to their team, which they need. They had a lot of young. They have some very talented guys that, as I'm looking at these team names, I was thinking of sometimes like, man, why would some of those guys aren't available for the draft? They got some studs, and they're adding some PLW leadership. Leonis, a guy that's going to benefit from more playing time.
Leonis is going to get his 50 to 70 innings, probably 150 at bats. That's going to make him better. He has the ability to do that. He can throw strikes, but now he can throw more competitive strikes. He doesn't have to worry about guys. Not everybody's going to be able to take him deep. He would get behind, unfortunately, and then he would throw the get me over. And you just can't do that on some of these lineups. And definitely when the wind was blowing out on some of the nights, he was unfortunately forced into action. But
he's a guy that always gets out here early. He's always working on stuff. So I wouldn't be now he's going to have the in-game action to work on some of the things instead of even established PLW guys work on things. Then the bullets fly in a game. And you're like, well, I got to just go back to what I'm doing, or this. I can't mess with that right now in the heat of the game. So the PCL is going to be a great spot for him to fine tune his game.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be one of those guys that takes the next step. Look for him to be maybe a PLW guy to get drafted the next season because he's going to have. I think he could be a double-digit win guy in the PCL.
And that's the thing, man. The PCL, it is our lower division, but there's nothing to knock on. There were 3 or 4, maybe more guys that made big impacts who started in PCL, got pulled up to the PLW. Kyle Baker was the best hitter on the Cajuns for a month straight when we needed it, like bad. He was a guy that I knew him from me drafting. We got drafted the same draft class, became buddies, and I knew he just didn't get the opportunities on whatever teams he was on, but I knew he could play, and he was a great attitude. He came out to PCL Saturdays, had a great attitude, didn't take it like, why am I down here? He said, I'm going to be the best I can. He was hitting like 500 when he got pulled up. So that's a guy that took advantage of his opportunity, and that's what all these PCL guys need to do.
Yeah, it's going to be a great opportunity for everybody.
And do we have a Burrows pick?
The Burrows are done.
Burrows are done. 86ers are on the clock.
We've got the next 2 picks, but we're only drafting 1 more.
Okay.
And we're going to go with Scott Burley.
Scott Burley is getting drafted to the 86ers.
You're next.
Yep. Scott Burley, former Vader, former Viper, former everything. A guy that when he comes out, he's a guy that when he pitches, you think it's like, oh, it's time to tee off. But he's got wiggle and movement and hits his spots. He knows how to pitch. He's going to do very well in the PCL.
Yeah, we were going to draft him last season. We took Leonis instead because Ryan had more availability. when we came to our draft pick in that third round last year. Burley was definitely on the radar. I'm a Burley fan because I think he's a PLW pitcher. To get him in the PCL and on a team that has some pitching, he doesn't have to show up every week, but when he shows up, he's going to give you his 9 innings, and he's going to be, again, good clubhouse guy, kind of fits in the mold that the 86ers are building.
Yep. And that 86ers are, you're not?
We're done, and then Diablos have 2 more picks.
Okay. And then the Diablos have 2 picks, and I'll just, as soon as I get those, I will announce those. And the Diablos will round out the draft. They are taking DCR, as we know. DCR is a Diablo hanging around. He's still here waiting to hear his name called. That's our guy, the heart and soul of the PCL, and just a great guy, always out here working. He's been playing in all the weekend tournaments, getting better. And the Diablos will also take Aaron Harris.
Yeah.
Lefty pitcher, real good guy, throws a big 12-6 hook, and fools some hitters, and he got a lot better towards the end of the year.
Yeah, so he's going to be on a team that they're going to get to play every day. They're going to get to play a lot, and you got a really good coach. So DCR just walked in. Let's get him in here.
Let me get DCR in here. DCR.
What's going on?
What's up, buddy?
What's
DCR, one of a big guy in the chats on game nights. Now you're a Diablo with the regulators going away, unfortunately, just to make room so we could get all these games in on the weekends. You're a Diablo. How you feel?
I feel great. I just want to play wiffle ball, and wherever I'm needed, I'll be there.
I know you will. DCR played second base for the regulators. Was a staple in our 5-6 hole in the lineup. You've been playing a lot of those tournaments, and the last time I saw you, I could tell you've been putting in the work. You got a lot better. Diablos are lucky to have you.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Awesome.
I'm super excited.
Awesome, buddy. All right, that's DCR. Congratulations, new member of the Diablos.
Let's go.
Happy for you, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's my guy right there. DCR, Daniel. He's a Diablo, so I'm glad all my regulator boys got taken care of and are all on teams. Bittersweet that the regulators folded, but I'm glad you guys are all on teams and gonna get to compete.
Yeah, I mean it's Saturdays only, or weekends only, I should say. Going to affect my golf game, but that's okay. I love playing with football. I've been playing since I was 10 years old. Military bases, like you just kind of move around and. This is what I love to do. You and I, we've hit it off. We live to be out here, whether it's in the booth, on the field as an umpire, playing in the dugout. It's a great time, and we miss the nation. We can't wait to get back. Saturdays are going to be fun.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Saturdays and Sundays. Look for us to be a lot of weekends, and then don't be surprised to see some random tape things pop up with some commentary. We're still figuring that out.
I think right now April 1st is opening day where it's going to be the Pharaohs versus the Ones.
Yep.
And that's April 1st, I believe, is a Saturday.
No.
Oh, what is it?
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday. So they're going to play on a Monday. So that'll be a live game. Opening weekend will be April 6th and 7th.
Mm-hmm.
The schedule, I know who the Cajuns play on Sunday. The schedule hasn't been all the way released.
I know who you play too on Sunday. You play the Legends.
No.
Yeah.
We play the Lightning.
You play the Lightning?
Yeah. See?
Oh, we play the Snappers. Yeah, we play the Snappers. So, we play at 10 o'clock on Sunday.
I know on Sunday, April 7th, you'll get a Cajuns Lightning PLW Season 5 Championship rematch right off the bat, first week. I know the Ones and Pharaohs, the Pharaohs new PLW team, they'll play the Ones on April 1st.
We play the Snappers on Sunday.
So at least we know those two games for the Sunday. So you're going to have games live all day, Saturday and Sunday if you're able to watch. But if you got plans and things and you don't make it, I believe we're going to be replaying the games Monday through Friday like we normally do in some type of fashion. So not only will you see it live if you're able to, but if you do miss it, you'll get the replay and you'll never know any different.
Yeah, it'll be great, and you're going to see another look for 18 weeks. Well, it's actually probably closer to 22 weeks because we got some.
There's going to be an all-star break.
There's an all-star break. There's going to be a gap because you're going to have some really hot summer days. But look for us to be wrapping it up, around September again, rolling in. And season 6 is the big season because all original players, after 6 seasons, they can become free agents. So you're going to have some moves that you might not think about. All players that have had 6 seasons at the end of this year, they are free agents if they want to be. So that's going to be great.
All the original players can basically go play wherever they want after this season.
Yep.
So, you might see a lot of shakeup here in the next 12 to 12 to 18 months with PLW and everything. So I think that's going to do it for us. We got the draft in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Gave you a little taste, a little recap of what's coming. So the next day you'll see us is April 1st, Pharaohs Ones.
I would love to be here, but that is my anniversary from me and my wife, so I will not be here, but I'll be here in spirit. I'll watch the game at night.
I'm sure I'll be here. I'm off on Mondays right now, so I'm sure I'll be here doing something, in booth and something. I'll be here. But
all right.
PLW Nation, Brad, thanks for joining me up
Absolutely,
here.
my
I
friend.
always love being up here with you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tune in. We'll be going live here real soon. PLW is right around the corner. Take care. Have a good night.
Good night.
And that's a deep drive. Brandon Quinn! Oh!